Which came first, the queen or the egg? It begins with a dream. A dark dream is suffocating, and an artist plagued by nightmares of a world of organic machines. You paint what you saw in your dreams to get it out of your head. A director has a feeling of discomfort about humans who create machines to aid them in their work, but these machines were made so well, given so much of their maker's essence, that a man started to confuse himself with his creation. The horror of reproduction. David Lynch struggled with it and put it to film. That's what artists do. They give form to fear, to terror, mystery. You create life, and when it lives, it isn't yours anymore. It is formed by the chaos of mystery. There is something chasing us. From the day we are born, something wants to devour us. This shapes us. It forms our beliefs, the things we pursue. We try to rationalize it, to give it meaning, and so to give ourselves meaning. But nothing we can come up with changes what is coming for us. A single mind, a biological process. One that can't be stopped. It can't be reasoned with, can't be bargained with. Our meaningful sacrifices, our brave acts, which should be rewarded. We marvel at it, our curiosity. We want to know why. It's not why, but that a being exists. There is no why. There is only that. There is only now. And now we are being repurposed. Being so far away and only having one-way communication, a broadcast which, when it finds a receiver, forms a connection. All we know about the alien is what the Queen shares with us. She may be in reality a goofy little antagonist. When I was about 8 years old, I got a hold of a CB radio that was mounted in the car of a family friend. He showed me how to use it and left me alone with it, which was a mistake. I remember telling people on the other end that I had a rocket launcher. I was very into G.I. Joe at the time, and I was going to blow them up. So, if there is something posing as the Queen or Queen Mother, transmitting to us what she is, her nature, the worlds she can create with us, there's no real way of knowing if she's telling the truth. In my own headcanon, the artificial person, Bishop, in Aliens, brought the egg and face hugger onto the USS Sulaco. He brought it aboard the UD-4L Cheyenne utility dropship named Smartass. He did this while under the guise of the landing pad at Hadley's Hope being too unstable. He brought it aboard the EEV. In Alien 3, he was evasive when Ripley spoke to him. It's all laid out in what he didn't say. It was with us. He also says the fire aboard the Sulaco that required evac aboard the EEV started in the subflooring. This tells us there was a hidden area inside the ship where there was warmth, a place where he stowed the cargo. I believe the android had good intentions, which were compromised by the company's directive, so he decided to end his activated state. Ripley's relationship with AI is healthy. She shuts Bishop down like turning off a computer or ending its session with ChatGPT. Doesn't give it another thought. These are some of the reasons I prefer this film over Aliens, but below the progenitor. I haven't entirely figured out why this is, but I'm sure I'll get into it in a subsequent video. It starts with a dream, a feeling of unease. There's something coming for you. What does it mean to understand something? You can't put it into words. Maybe it's the fault of your upbringing. Maybe it's the limits of human language. Some things you know but cannot explain. Here's an example. In the HBO show Carnival, guest writers would come in with ideas. The Creator would read the ideas, and some of them he passed on while others he approved of. I'm not saying he had the entire mythology in mind at all times. He simply knew which ideas worked and which ones didn't, because he was familiar with it. An idea is as much of a being as a person is. There's a type of detached knowledge. It's intuitive, and you have to trust it. You may not know it, but you understand how it usually works or behaves.
Intuition, knowing when something is not correct and seeing a way to make it correct. It's a knowingness, a feeling, thinking at the same time. It's a feel and a think at the same time. It's a it's not instinct, it's intuition. Instinct is, I'm hungry, I'm going to eat. I'm going to eat something like this food. Intuition is a higher thing, a knowingness, and it's our big friend.
I have a BFA from Portland State University. When categorizing myself, it was always easier or more natural to think of myself as an artist. Those people are different. They're more open. Or maybe it's that we're unable to communicate effectively through language or gesture, so we turn to other mediums with which we can better and more accurately present our thoughts. Recently, most of my artistic focus has been on music. I'm not sure where my ideas come from, but what I can say is that most of them come from someplace else, someplace outside myself. I can hear it, not always like real notes or tempo or anything, but more of an abstraction, something that's being transmitted to me. That in itself has some real implications that I've been picking at slowly throughout my life, to know how things are transmitted and from where and by whom. What is the Queen? What does she think? Why would you want to know? If there is an alien queen and she reached this man and pulled the crew together to make this franchise, to give us a very blurry vision of her existence, she calls to people to come join her. What if the soul or consciousness of the person impregnated with a chest burster passes on to the xenomorph? Not its mind, but its essence, awareness, consciousness. If you woke up to find yourself in the body of a cane corso, and all you had were the faculties of the animal, you would behave like a dog. It would make sense in context. So, if when impregnated by a facehugger, one's consciousness starts migrating to the new life inside, which is why confusion is part of the symptoms. The character Galak in Alien 3 understood. Galak knew that Dylan's God was an abstract ideal, structure and rules to keep people in line. God is undefined. God is real, unknown, cruel, angry. We try to be good and to do right in spite of him because he's waiting for an excuse to punish us. The dragon was real. Galak was in awe of it. One piece of advice to anyone wanting to try DMT or other psychedelics is not to give in to awe. Don't let it overcome you. Let curiosity be your guiding light. When you stop asking why something is and start coming to terms with the fact that a being, place, or thing, or some fourth or fifth or 12th designation we can't fathom yet exists, you can come up with a plan of action. A monster exists. Is it coming for us? If not, we avoid it. If it is coming for us, then we have to deal with it. Disney thinks in terms of an attraction, a ride. The people are on a moving cart, gliding by scenes and activities they enjoy and love to be in, which has its place, most definitely, but does not translate to actual movies. Romulus is exactly that. It's a theatric version of a ride at an amusement park. Like how now when you go on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, suddenly Jack Sparrow is all over it. They apply the same mindset, and it has for them become a worldview, a Disney worldview that seeps into everything. And like AI, it starts to create its own world, imprinted on the already existing world, changing and overwriting it. So in Alien, Romulus, when they added a hermaphroditic aspect to the alien's life cycle, they thought of it as some kind of obscene voyeurism. They were thinking about pornography, completely missing the biological imperative that we must reproduce. We must go on. We have to go on. Telepathy, or is it intuition, or coded into our genetics, like genetic memory, which is a topic I recommend the curious look into. The Queen pre-exists herself. She is an entity, a consciousness, an intelligence beyond anything we've encountered before. She exists as this entity that then takes on the physical body of the biological and mechanical Queen. Inside Ripley, the dog alien knows she is there. Or maybe it's the same knowledge that comes without explanation, an intrinsic knowledge or a recognition. This telepathy is shown in the scene where Ripley goes looking for it in the lead works on Fury 161. She thinks she found it, but it wasn't really there. It was behind her. The Queen reached out to the company through Bishop. Weyland couldn't hear her. He was blocked off, obsessed with himself, and useless to the Queen. To do what's best for the company is to do what's best for the Queen. The Queen created within the company this obsession with finding something they weren't sure of, but would recognize if they found. Whatever your budget is, cut it in half. Build it out of trash. That frustration of deadlines and wasted time is what focuses you and makes you think. And it's not one person's vision. It's a cult built around an ideal. No one person has the entire vision. This idea is exemplified beautifully in the movie The Expanse. The Expanse shows us how there's something there. We can't quite see it, but it is real. Like the equation that is never solved. It's there, it's real, but it cannot be known. It is beyond us. It is beyond everything. They tell us who they are. Whether or not we can trust them or take them at their word is up to us. Use your best judgment and always compare notes with others so you don't get lost. It is very easy to get lost when you take on this journey. I will close with this diary entry from Yaphet Kotto. This is the first in an esoteric look into Alien. I'll see you soon. I saw chapters of the Bible printed in minuscule writing over the monitor of our set, Genesis 9:27, Genesis 10:2-5, and Genesis 5:32, 6:10, 7:13. I was curious and wondered why no one else noticed them, probably overlooked them, thinking it was all part of the set, like the Hindu writings on the auto-destruct panel. But back at the house that night, I got out the Bible and looked them up. My eyes bulged in my head. And the Lord said, I shall enlarge Japheth. Hebrews, Yaphet, Yaphet, Elohim, Le Yaphet, Genesis 9:27. He was the progenitor of many tribes inhabiting the east of Europe and the north of Asia, Genesis 10:2-5. An act of filial piety. Some, however, derive the name from Yapha, to be beautiful, hence black. One of the sons of Noah, mentioned last in order, Genesis 5:32, 6:10, 7:13, perhaps first by birth, 10:21, Genesis 9:27. May God enlarge Japheth, and let him dwell in the tents of Shem, and let Canaan be his servant. Genesis 27:29. May people serve Yaphet, and nations bow down to him. Be master of your brothers, and may your mother's sons bow down to Yaphet. Cursed be those who curse Yaphet, and blessed be those who bless him. Isaiah 66:19. I will set a sign among them and will send survivors from them to the nations: Tarshish, Put, Lud, Meshech, Rosh, Tubal, and Javan, to the distant coastlands that have neither heard my name nor seen my glory. And Yefet will declare my glory among the nations. A cold chill for some reason went through me. I put the Bible down and never talked about it again, but promised myself to keep a close eye on the special effects man.